Hey everybody, this is Paul Colligan. I want to chat with you for about 10 minutes here on a concept I'm calling P2V marketing. It's definitely where things are going. I'm doing it, and what's really interesting is other people are doing it already. And, well, I want to share the concepts with you. All right, in the next 10 minutes, because that's all we've got here on YouTube, we're going to introduce the concept of P2V. That's physical to virtual. I'll explain that in a second. I'm going to give you the tools for P2V. This stuff works. I've got a case study of my own, then a really interesting live case study that's going on right now as you guys watch this video, or at least if you got into this early enough. And then I'm going to talk to you, give you a continuing education opportunity that I think is pretty exciting. P2V. I am in information marketing, and many of you who are watching this are in information marketing as well. The problem is people who consume information marketing content, the people who love training and materials and this kind of stuff, they have too much junk on their shelves. If I had a video camera right now, I would, pan it around the room and you'd see my shelves filled with content. And maybe junk is to be put in quotes or something because it's good content, but right now it's collecting dust. It's just making things more complicated than it needs to. Now, we'd love to get all this stuff ripped, get this on MP3 players and that kind of stuff. But the second problem is, let's face reality. Physical gives you a perceived value right now. If I were to offer you, 20 DVDs, that has, wow, 20 DVDs are showing up. That has a perceived value. If I were to give you a file with enough video content to hold 40 DVDs, because that is a virtual product, the understanding of the value of that just isn't there. We're still in a world where physical equals perceived value. So what do? Well, it's really simple. It's P2V. You start with the physical and you continue with the virtual. You start the process, give them something physical. Give them something that they can wrap their arms around, that they can, manifest into the reality of what is out there, and then go virtual. And how do you do that? Well, automation for something like this used to be a huge pain, used to be just a considerable headache. You deal with this fulfillment house and they send stuff and then you put them on an email or something and then you tie it to the payment system and what do? Well, the solution now, there are automation tools out there that do P2V for less than $100 a month. And there are companies and services that make P2V really, really possible. I'll share a couple of them with you right now. In the tools and services world, Kunaki.com, True On Demand. You can send Kunaki DVDs, CDs, audio discs, video discs, data discs. You can send it to them. You do it all from your computer. You send it to them, and they will print them, and they will mail them on demand. They will print them and mail them only when somebody wants them, and they will print them and mail them when you tell them to. So if I have 27 different customers in 27 different locations, I could send to Kunaki these 27 different orders, and Kunaki will print the 27 different discs and mail them all over the world for me. I don't have to worry about a thing other than creating information, which is something that I do well, and something hopefully that you do well as well. And Kunaki's completely automated, very robotic, brilliant company. Can't say enough about them. Vervante.com is true fulfillment. It's a fulfillment house that will do limited runs for you, will put stuff together. They do print on demand, they do discs, they can bundle things. You can have like a 5 CD set with a book, shrink wrapped with a bow around it, that kind of thing if you wanted to. Vervante is very good. Disc.com is a company that a lot of the high volume users use. It's all there. Now, the great thing is my system, PremiumCast, we built this for P2V. We built this to integrate with all of this. So what you can do with PremiumCast is you can start with the physical. Somebody orders a product and you can send them 4 DVDs and then you can send the rest by podcast. You can send somebody a physical book through Vervante and then bring them into the private membership website. You can have disc.com fulfill a massive launch and then bring everything else through an automated delivery system. Tools are out there. You can embrace this stuff. It's really, really easy to do. So what? You can deliver physical now without inventory. You see, with organizations like Kunaki, you don't even have to pay Kunaki until you've been paid. So if somebody orders, if you get 25,000 customers, you've got the money to deliver 25,000 discs, and you get the money from the customer first, and then you ship it to Konaki. So it's on demand, development and packaging and mailing and all this stuff. It's awesome. And then once you've delivered that physical through any of those companies I showed you, then you can follow up with virtual through the private membership website, through the autoresponder series, through the podcast, whatever you want to do. It's automated, it's secured, it's proven. It really is the best of all worlds. Physical to virtual works. Let me give you a great example. In Podcast Secrets, every year that we did Podcast Secrets, the students for Podcast Secrets got this physical player. You can see it right here on the screen. And what the physical player did was the physical player had training. In the first year, we didn't have Podcast Secrets to give them, so we gave them actually an event that Alex and I did together in Orlando, gave them all 8 hours of the recording, gave them a bunch of additional recording. So they got this physical product, and they could then plug the earpiece into their ears, listen to us, get used to us, that type of stuff. And then the rest of the class was delivered virtually. And this worked phenomenally well, and people loved it, and this is the next step. So this is how we could charge $1,000 for a program, was by giving them this device first, physical to virtual. Another case study is going on right now, and this is what kind of prompted me to do this video, because it's amazing. Buddy of mine, Russell Brunson, if you visit russellsoffer.com right now, and I do stress right now because it's sort of a limited run, limited launch kind of thing, Russell is doing a continuity program, and I want to stress that it is a continuity program, but it's a great example for you to look at and follow. He's giving a free MP3 player, and I put free in quotes because you got to pay $9.97 shipping and handling. Okay, it's for a system he calls micro continuity, which is actually a lot like physical to virtual, except it's sort of Russell's spin on it, if you will. And what happens is if you purchase that, then you've got other options for continuing education programs, all in the virtual space. And then what is going to be interesting for Russell with this free MP3 player offer is that he's going to end his micro continuity offer with a physical option as well. So it's almost a P2V, physical to virtual, maybe even back to physical as well. And if you want to see this in example, right now Podcast Secrets is closed, so I can't show you that. And this is certainly a way to see this whole thing happen, for $9.97. And for goodness sakes, you get an MP3 player out of it as well. The only problem is that I don't know if it's going to still be open, so get into it now if you can. What I'd like to do, now this video is done, we're about at the end of our time limit here with YouTube. If you grab Russell's offer over at russellsoffer.com, and again, free in quotes, yes, you got to pay the $9.97, but extremely worth it. If you enter the exact name and email address you used with Russell at P2Vmarketing.com, many of you are on the page right now. If you're watching this at YouTube, just head over to P2Vmarketing.com yourself. And if you go to the exact name and email address you used when you registered Russell's free offer at russellsoffer.com, I'm going to do a hour-plus webinar on P2V marketing, going more in depth with how these tools work, screenshots, more case studies, and that kind of stuff. If you get it before the event, you'll get in live. You'll be able to ask questions and answer, participate in the group, that type of thing. If you get it afterwards, it'll be a recorded webinar. Now, I'm doing this in conjunction with Russell's launch. I don't know how long Russell's going to go. So when Russell closes, this model will close as well. So again, it's $9.97. Out of it, you get, free MP3 player, you get all of Russell's training, you get my webinar. It's a pretty good deal. So what I do, head over to russellsoffer.com, grab the free MP3 player, and then give the exact name and email address you used with Russell at that offer to P2Vmarketing.com. This has been Paul Colligan. I hope this concept makes sense to you, and that you can use it in your marketing efforts.